how does you guys handle visa revocations and is like mass cancellation, without notice even legally possible?
So it is legally possible because the Secretary of State has the authority to revoke a visa, essentially under any justification, as long as it's slightly tethered to reality, under prudential visa revocation. And in that circumstance, they're not required to give you notice and an opportunity to respond. They literally can just say your visa's been revoked. Now, the way that the policy is supposed to work is when a visa is revoked, the individual receives an email from the consulate that issued the visa telling the person, hey, your visa's been revoked. I've seen a lot of those emails in the past month for consults and things like that. So typically they're instructing people, hey, your visa's been revoked. Now they're seeming to go one more step further and saying when you return to obtain a new visa, you actually have to give us back the old one. I'm assuming so they can just stamp it as revoked or canceled. But that's usually the process of how it's done. Prudential visa revocations are, it's something this administration is going to use as a cudgel because it's something that's very difficult, if not impossible, to attack through litigation because there is that power vested in the State Department. And so the Secretary of State is going to be making those decisions. Our Secretary of State, in case you don't know, is Marco Rubio, a man who was repeatedly ridiculed while Donald Trump ran for president during his initial term and now serves as the Secretary of State as proof that, that some lapdogs will always come back to you, apparently. But that's really what they're going to do is just basically keep saying prudential visa revocations are going to be the basis because they're so difficult, if not impossible, to challenge. I would say if you're in the United States and you're in any non-immigrant visa at this point, you have to be incredibly cautious regarding interactions with law enforcement. And what I mean by that is, if you get arrested, I think if you're intaked and fingerprinted at this point, I think you can just assume your visa is going to get canceled. If you have been arrested in the past, even if it was 8, 9, 10 years ago, and you're on a non-immigrant visa, there's a possibility that your visa is going to be revoked. And so anyone who's in that circumstance or situation needs to be wary because the fact of the matter is the consulate is supposed to tell you that your visa was revoked. It's possible that they don't send you an email or that email goes to your spam or that email, it just doesn't, it goes to an email that you no longer monitor. And in that circumstance, people don't realize their visas have been canceled until, they're going to the consulate for a new visa or they're trying to get on a plane. So yeah, it's a circumstance where the same as it is with an H-1B where I can go in and type out, my status and see what the status is and know that there's a justification in a decision that comes along with that. In these circumstances, it's literally just, hey, we're letting you know your visa's been revoked and you have to come to the consulate.